In this video, I will tell you exactly my plan for this Black Friday and Cyber Monday to generate over $1 million for our e-commerce brands. And I will show you exactly what is going to be the campaign strategy, the offer strategy, and the ad strategy that you should follow if you basically want to get the same results. We have spent millions of dollars of paid ads and probably have done 8 Black Friday Cyber Monday in the past, just specifically for e-commerce brands. So hopefully this video is going to be insightful for you and you can ideally find some ideas for your Black Friday Cyber Monday, specifically of course for your e-commerce brand. And to be more specific, in this video I don't want just to show you a plan or some strategies, but I want to make sure that by maximizing performance you're maximizing the total return on the ad spend that you can achieve during this period. Let's now jump on my screen and I will show you basically the entire strategy. Cool, so this is basically my 1 million Black Friday Cyber Monday plan. I've seen many times a lot of e-commerce brands that fail during Black Friday Cyber Mondays, and ideally with this video I want to make sure that you will have a very successful Black Friday Cyber Monday campaign. So 30 things that you need to consider, actually 4. The first one is the campaign strategy, the second one is the offer strategy, the third one is the ad strategy, and the fourth one, just a surprise for everyone that basically stays until the end of the video. So let's start with the campaign strategy. Before even we look inside the actual campaign strategy, offer strategy, ad strategy and everything else, I want you to have a look at the CPM and how CPM, which is basically the cost per 1,000 impressions, especially on Facebook ads, will fluctuate during this period starting from now, basically September, until end of the year. And the strategy, of course, should be also built based and considering the CPM fluctuation over time. So this is basically the graph. Sorry for the design, it's basically kind of handmade. And as you can see, the CPM will basically increase during November, will be at the peak during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then it will slowly decrease a little bit during December, and then it will completely go down and go, to the normal status after January. Now, based on this, what we know that basically during this period, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the CPM will be the highest as possible. And so we need to make sure that we balance the raise in CPM with a higher conversion rate and we build a proper audience before the actual launch of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaign. Now, let's look at the campaign strategy. So this is basically going to be basically the Q4 period, October, November, and December. Now, what I want you to understand is that your Black Friday Cyber Monday doesn't start here. It will start here, the 1st of October. So, first thing to consider, of course, the actual Black Friday offer and everything, it will be ideally during the Black Week, so starting from the 24th of November until the 1st of December, so you can also include the Cyber Monday here and include also the Thanksgiving, which is basically on the 27th, then Black Friday on the 28th. Now, the reason why I'm saying that you should start this in October is because there is a pre-phase. There is basically this phase here, basically start from the 1st of October until November 23rd, and this is a pre-Black Friday Cyber Monday. So what you want to do here, you want to start building hype for Black Friday Cyber Monday. So you want to start building your VIP list. A lot of e-commerce brands, what they do, they start building a list of people and an audience of people that they can retarget when they launch the Black Friday Cyber Monday campaign, especially through email marketing and other own channel, because what you want to make sure is that you don't want to pay the high CPM during November, but you can leverage the low CPM during October, get as many leads as possible with a very low cost per leads, and then make sure that you're reaching all possible people that you can in November, while keeping, of course, CPM low on the ads, because you have already a lot of people within your email list. And the problem here is that a lot of brands do this just 1 or 2 weeks before Black Friday Cyber Monday, which is already is basically when all the CPM starts increasing. So what you want to do, you want to have a lead generation campaign on Meta. You need to collect leads when CPM is low, so basically during October, and as basically I just said, don't start 1 or 2 weeks before Black Friday Cyber Monday, because this will be basically too late. And your goal is to convert leads during Black Friday Cyber Monday through SMS and email marketing. You have 2 ways to collect leads. The first one is through a lead form on Meta, where you can basically kind of apply a hack to avoid receive bad quality leads that I will tell you later. And then the second one is lead generation directly on the website. And something here to mention is that you don't have just to focus on email, but also you need to consider SMS marketing, because of course the open rate here is going to be much higher. Now, how do you get these leads? You can get these leads through pop-up on the website. So you basically can have a pop-up on the website, and everyone that lands on the website, even during October, they will see the pop-up to join the waiting list or the VIP list for Black Friday Cyber Monday. You want to have this into an announcement bar. You want to start promoting this through your entire contact list, and of course you want to have the ads running. As mentioned here, you will have two different type of campaign. One to drive leads directly and collect leads directly from your website, and another one to use meta lead form, and I will explain the exact strategy later on, no worries. Then what is going to happen here is that 24 hours before the Black Friday Cyber Monday, there is going to be the VIP early access, because everyone that will sign up to the list, ideally what you want to do, you want to have some kind of early exclusive access or kind of some exclusive perks just for these people to have, so they have more incentives to actually join the list. Of course, this will depend on your brand, because if your brand is well known already, you're making already millions per month, then people already they want to buy from you, so you don't ideally need to offer an extra discount or something extra to let people subscribe. Just the exclusivity thing, so the fact that they can access Black Friday Cyber Monday deals 24 hours before than others and avoid all the stock to be basically sold out, this is basically just enough, okay? And in this case, what you want to do, you want to start sending email and SMS to the VIP list once, of course, this is going to be happening, which is 24 hours before the Black Friday Cyber Monday. And then you want to run retargeting ads only to the VIP list, sync with Klaviyo, of course. And then the second part, which is basically just the launch, is going to be from the November 24th until December 1st. Basically, this is going to be here the period, right? And then you want to call it ideally Black Week. What I also recommend you to do is to have your peak offer or discount during the 28, 29, 30 and 1st. Why? Because usually CPM here will be the highest possible, and you kind of need to compensate this increase in CPM with a higher conversion rate. So like what you want to have is basically just better offers during this period. Ads push, of course, you need to push with ads as much as possible, and you ideally need to do some daily surf scaling. So what I recommend you to do is to increase or decrease the budget every hour. So you need to stay behind the ads manager active, and every hour, 1 or 2 hours, you need to increase or decrease the budget based on performance. Also, what I highly recommend is to check the previous year's performance and see usually when is the peak in terms of hours, in terms of time zone. And then what you want to do, you want to strategize the increase and decrease in budget based also on forecasting. Because if you know that usually people buy for your specific store, let's say between 1 and 3 p.m., then you want to start increasing the budget already at 12. So you basically can have the ads to optimize and then start scaling during those hours, and then scale back the budget and then increase again during the peak hour, maybe at night. So you need to check your previous data. Cool. So this is basically going to be the overall strategy, campaign strategy and process that I recommend you to do. Black Friday Cyber Monday, 24 hours early access, and then Black Friday Cyber Monday open to everyone basically from the 24th until the December 1st. Now, offer strategy. So, what I recommend to do in terms of offer. Let's start with the VIP offering. So, early access only could be an idea, as I mentioned before, if your brand is already big and people fear to miss out on stocks and availability of products. Definitely this is already enough for you. But if you're a smaller brand, you probably need to add some additional perks like additional discounts, and which is something that I usually avoid to do, but you know, you can give like an extra 10% or 5% only for these people. And the reason why I avoid this is because I don't want to decrease too much the AOV. Other things that you can give is like free gifts just available for VIP, limited edition, some free products only available for the VIP, free shipping on all the orders specifically only on that day just for the VIP. And something else you can do is like have a 2x points collection kind of thing if you already have a reward program specifically for your brand. Something to mention here is that VIP access should be 24 hours. only. And the reason why I say this is because you need to put urgency into people's mind during that specific day. This is only VIP. Consider that after this you will also have the part 2, the actual Black Friday Cyber Monday, Black Week and everything. So this is gonna be already enough. Black Friday Cyber Monday, what I suggest and recommend you to do is to keep discounts very simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Something that usually works is basically site-wide discount, get up to 70% off, 50%, whatever you can generate and make based on your own margins, and also forecast in terms of how much ad spend you can do. I mean, you can spend profitably, of course. Something else that I actually recommend, which is the best thing in this case, is to have some tier volume discounts. So for instance, you give some threshold and then after those thresholds, people get higher discounts. The reason why this usually is the best thing is because you can boost AOV and be like, hey, if you spend 100 more, you get 50% off. If you spend 200 more, you get 80% off, whatever. This is like just some examples in here. You don't have to follow this example here specifically in this video. You need to adapt this concept here to your brand, of course. Then you need to think about AOV. Site-wide discounts might decrease your AOV, as I just mentioned, so it will lower your return on ad spend. Volume discounts boost AOV, that's why I prefer tier and volume discounts. Last 24 hours, what you can do, you can give an extra, could be an extra gift, an extra discounts on specific products and for specific reasons. For instance, like I don't know, like you're like a fashion brand and you're selling t-shirt. Cool. Then there is a specific design of your t-shirt that is basically kind of almost sold out. There are only the size that you usually don't sell available, and then what you can do is have like a flash sale 24 hours, last 24 hours discount, where you collect specific product within this collection that you can give discount, like an extra discount, but only on this specific product that I just mentioned. And what you want to do here, you want to push as much as possible urgency, because this literally is going to be the last 24 hours. And something very important, you don't have, this is going to be, this period here, is going to be the biggest discount of the year that you ever done. And Christmas, holidays, and everything that will come after, you will not need to match the same discount. Christmas, you should focus on other things like gifts and everything. So I recommend you to watch my other videos where I explain this exactly what you have to do. But keep in mind that this must be the best discounts of the year, because people will not trust your brand anymore if you play along with the discounts and you start decreasing, even like during Christmas. Okay. Then finally, the ads strategy. So the part 1 is basically the pre-Black Friday Cyber Monday, and what you need to do, as I mentioned before, lead generation campaign, one campaign optimized for leads. Actually, what you should have is basically 2 different campaigns. One campaign where you optimize for instant form, and then another campaign that you optimize for website lead generation. Just make sure that here you choose maximize number of conversions, and then the conversion, of course, must be leads on the website. Let's focus on the campaign number 1 in here. So it's going to be basically meta lead form campaign, needs to be synced with Klaviyo, of course, and there is a hack here. So the hack is that you don't need to use an autocomplete email, because some people sometimes they just send form and they don't even notice that they don't even remember they have sent it, because it's kind of pre-filled already. They might click the button by discounts and everything. So to avoid these junk leads, what you can do is to delete the email. Basically just follow this concept here, like this video here. You delete the email from here first, and then you do add the question, and then you add a short answer, which is basically going to be the email. So people will need, and of course they must, type their email manually if they want to join. And then the second campaign here is basically just going to be a website lead gen campaign. You need to drive traffic to a landing page. Just make sure that the reason why I suggest to do this 2 campaigns simultaneously is because usually with this type of campaign here, the quality of the lead will be much higher, and you can give more context. Because here people will have a landing page, and so in the landing page you can kind of put more information as well. So you should test these 2 different type of campaigns, check the cost per lead, and then go optimized based on the best performing one, of course. And just make sure that the landing page here is very simple. You want to have a form, title, description, some bullet points of everything that people get, and the reason why they should actually join the VIP Black Friday list. Now make sure that each campaign you basically have 2 different ad sets, one broad and one retargeting. On both you need to exclude the VIP list leads. So the moment you start generating and collecting leads on this VIP list, they will be automatically excluded from the targeting of these campaigns. Otherwise, Meta might just, keep targeting the same people over and over again, even after they actually left already the contact information. For the ad creatives, what I highly recommend to do is to have founder video announcement, statics, and motion graphics, so like CGI video, where you actually give a hint about what people can get. And ideally what you want to have is like 10 to 30 creatives variations in total. Just make sure the variation is not just a title variation, but it's an actual variation. Of course, it depends on your budget. If you're spending 50 a day or 20 a day, you should not have 10 or 30 creatives. Try to consider around 10 to 20 USD, ideally, per single ad creatives, and this is basically going to be your total budget. You will need to run this for 2 months, and that's why you need to have a lot of leads. And if you have a lot of budget, like if your budget is quite high, you might need to refresh the creatives even after a couple of weeks, depending on the frequency, so you need to keep monitoring everything. Then, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, VIP Early Access. You want to have a purchase campaign, retargeting all the VIP list that you have done, that you have basically created through Klaviyo. Just make sure that you sync it with Meta. And in the creatives, what I recommend you do is have like some simple founder videos and some static ads. And then finally, for the Black Friday Cyber Monday actual campaign, what you want to have is one campaign broad, CBO, one ad set, 20 to 50 creatives per single ad set. Of course, if you have more creatives because you're spending more budget, like $5,000, $10,000 a day, have more ad set, just make sure that each ad set contain at least 20 creatives. Ideally, what you want to have, as I mentioned here, is between 20 and 50 creatives for each single ad set. And again, here, if you want more information about how you should structure the campaign right now after the Andromeda algorithm on Meta, I highly recommend you to watch my other video on my channel that we just created about this, where I explain basically how this system works, how the targeting now works, and why you should follow specific campaign structure right now based on these updates. The campaign number 2 is basically going to be a retargeting campaign, ABO, 3 different ads. You just allocate the budget to each single ad set, of course, and then you need to have 30 to 50 creatives on each single ad set. And the single ad set should be one for website visitor 180 days, one for IG Engager 365 days, and one for Klaviyo all contacts. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm splitting this into an ABO, is because these audiences will definitely be in different sizes. Like IG Engager 365 days will definitely be much bigger compared to this one. And so if you put on a CBO, Meta will most likely spend the budget in the biggest audience, which is why like kind of like one of the problems with the CBO. That's why in this case you want to run in ABO. Then your campaign number 3, active for the last 24 hours only, CBO, one ad set broad, 10 plus creatives. Of course, here, if you're spending a lot of money, you need to have a lot more creatives. Again, consider around 10 to 20 USD per single creative that you have inside the ad set. And then campaign number 4, active for the last 24 hours, which is basically going to be the same as the campaign number 3. The only difference that this is going to be a retargeting all campaign, last chance, last 24 hours only, and that's it. This campaign here is going to be more powerful, of course, if you have a last 24-hour discount. If not, it's still gonna be very powerful, but in this case, I recommend to only run as a retargeting all campaign rather than a simple broad. But usually both works. The only problem here could be is that the campaign will run only for 24 hours, so the broad one doesn't have a lot of time to optimize. But again, you should only do retargeting if you don't have any specific offer for this period. Now, campaign number 5, which is basically the gold mine here, is basically a bid cap with a very high budget. I will give you more details about this in my next video, where I basically explain the exact Facebook ad strategy that we use to make 5 to 6x ROAS at 10 to 30k a day on Facebook ads. And it's basically going to be a breakdown of the full Facebook ad strategy specific for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So that video is basically going to be just about Black Friday, Cyber Monday ads strategy, just focusing on ads with the ad creatives that you should run and everything else. And then for everyone that basically stayed until the end of the video, is basically a post Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of hacks and things that I highly recommend you to do. Basically have a thank you campaign. We broke records, thank you. This could be a simple reach campaign, video ads, founder message, you know, where you basically kind of say thank you to everyone that just bought during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. This will definitely help a lot. You can just put like a couple of dollars and it will definitely help a lot with your brand image and to keep your customers very, connected to your brand. Because think about it, how many brands do this, right? So you will definitely stand out. Cross-sell ad campaigns, so you need to start suggesting accessories, refills, gift cards for December holidays and everything else that basically can be connected to all the purchases that people have done. In this period, you also need to transition into the Christmas holidays. Again, check my other video on my channel where I explain this as well. And then re-engagement, so if you miss Black Friday Cyber Monday, here one more surprise, our Christmas deals are here. Something very important, as I mentioned before, don't copy the same discount as Black Friday Cyber Monday. The Christmas messages should be completely different. Christmas messages should be focusing on gifting. So you don't have to give the same discount, again, as Black Friday Cyber Monday. Don't wait for Christmas sales. I also explained this in details again in my other video, but you don't have to worry. You don't hurt your brand if you don't keep pushing discounts. The messaging now must go from discounts to gift. And so December, an offer around December should be basically in Christmas holidays should be around gifting. Think about bundle, gift sets and everything else. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have liked it, of course, remember to leave a like, a comment. If you have any question, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.